The Chosen season 3 finale is coming to Australian cinemas on February 3rd and 4th. And here to tell me more about her experience as Mary Magdalene in The Chosen, Liz Tabish. Welcome, Liz. So good to have you here.
Thank you so much for having me.
So, The Chosen is filmed in Texas. Is that where you are at the moment?
No, my husband and I live in Cleveland, Ohio. We just moved here last year. But I was in Texas for a long time. I was there for about 10 years, and that's where I was when I booked the role. Yeah.
Awesome. So I was wondring, George who plays John is an Aussie. I was wondering if he's taught you anything uniquely Australian. Has he taught you any slang? What do you know of Australia through George?
All I know is it Vegemite?
Yes.
They'll have that sometimes. And I've had it on saltine crackers, and I gotta say,
you're into it? Yeah, it's all about, I often see like foreigners going too heavy with the Vegemite. And I think,
it's
and
so
a bit
good.
of butter. Yeah. And it's good on toast or like a cracker or something like
Delicious.
that. Absolutely. Yeah. Okay. So season 3 finale, it's coming to an end, but I want to go back to season 1 for just a moment, because that's really how we're first introduced to you. In fact, that whole first episode centers around your character. Did you feel pressure kicking off the show in that way?
Oh, absolutely. I tried not to think about it, but it's there, just like, if this episode goes sideways, we're not going to continue. So it was just, there's a pressure. Not only that, but just portraying a historical figure that means so much to so many people and so much to me. And you want to honor it and you want to do everything right. But the more you try to do it right, the more, the less control you have over it. So the whole thing is a funny little dance for actors of trusting the process, really.
So we're introduced to you as Lilith, who's a woman tormented in so many different ways. And then we see a real transformation into Mary. And you can really see that difference in your performance. How do you go about portraying not just a character, you wanting to bring the real humanness of her? How do you go about doing that? Is that about relating to the character in different ways? What's your process for making sure Mary comes across not just one-dimensional?
I think the Lilith portion was very easy for me to connect with and portray because I think, there emotionally. When I booked the role, I was in a state of depression, and I connected to her despair, and it was very easy and almost cathartic to play a lot of those scenes. The redeemed Mary was not more of a challenge, but in some ways it was different for me, playing this genuinely peaceful and happy person, but in a funny way, getting the role and having this sort of life-changing experience through the role, gave me this taste of what that feels like, of this sense of hope, of good things can happen in this world too. And so there was this optimism, this very, very new optimism in my life that I think lent itself to some of those scenes of I don't understand this, but it's real, but it's happening. And so those scenes were, I think I was just as confused as Mary was.
Which probably helped you could translate that into the character. I'm fairly new to watching The Chosen. I really put off watching it because I think I was fearful that it would, something that was so important to me, I was worried perhaps it wouldn't do a good job. And I've really been enjoying it because I think it's such a fresh way of approaching a story and characters that we're familiar with and sometimes over familiar with. My parents are rewatching it at the moment, and I hear of people who cry, no joke, every single episode that they watch. What's the most common reaction you get from viewers that you hear from or fans of the show?
Concerning Mary, I get a lot of people saying that's me. I relate to her. I am Mary. And I thought that was going to stop after season 1, where people were like, there was a before and now there's an after, and the thing that happened in between was him. Everyone related so much to that. And then I thought that was sort of it. But as the seasons have gone on and there's these new dynamics with Mary and new growth for her, people are still saying that of just like, I relate to her. I that's me. I've been there. I am currently there. And I think I'm sure it's happening for all of the other actors. These are very relatable and very human characters, that are for so long have been maybe a little one-dimensional, and now suddenly they're infused with this humanity and relatability. And so I think that's been the biggest and most exciting thing to hear from viewers, that they see themselves in these characters.
It's true. It's a very grounded human performance, I think, from all of the actors. What do you think you've learned about the character of Jesus from being on the show?
Yeah, I mean, I had no idea he did so many miracles. I know I should know that, but like I really seeing them enacted, and like what that must have been like for all of these people to like witness miracle and healing after healing, like of course he changed the world, of course, so it's reminded me of what he was really teaching, especially the beginning of season 3. The Sermon on the Mount is my favorite, and seeing those things that he's saying enacted in real time, in real life, in the characters' lives, is really special. And I think it's really good examples and illustrations of what Jesus was teaching in life.
Do you have a go-to snack on set? Like in my mind, I'm picturing, like Jesus and Mary walking around with a Starbucks or something like that. And that's kind of like a bit of a mind trip for me. What's your like go-to, snack, the thing that keeps you going through long shoots?
On hot days, water, very exciting. It's
like
really
a warm,
yep. I mean, they have really great snacks and really healthy options and everything. And I always think I'm going to like go be healthy on set and eat an apple or something, but I never do. It's always like Cheez-Its or something.
Have whatever it takes to get you through the long shoots. What do you feel like anyone is particularly similar to their characters? You've talked about how in different ways you relate to the character of Mary. What are some ways that the other characters are similar, or even perhaps more similarities you can see in yourself there as well?
Yeah. I mean, I've definitely had some parallels with Mary, but I think everyone in the show has a thing with their character, has some connection. I think very specifically, Jordan Walker Ross, who plays Little James, especially this season, was able to really like share his own heart and his own experience through this scene where he's talking to Jesus in episode 2. I don't know how much more real you can get, how much more related you can get. And it's just such a beautiful scene and so well acted and written. But I think there's just there's personality traits that I think Amber has with Tamar. She is outspoken. She is confident. She always dresses great. It's a very Tamar thing. I think Lotta and Eden, I know that her heart is so, strong and so powerful, and her love is so, palpable for others. She's such a giving, loving person. And you can see that in these scenes where she's kind of putting her own issues on the back burner in order to take care of everyone and feed everyone. And I think there's a parallel there. And I think a lot of the guys have these similar things. I can't go through everyone, but like,
no,
I think we all have that little, like, it's
something you can.
It's almost like an access point into the character of like, I know this is, how she feels because I felt that, and then you're there. There. I think that's, good writing, knowing who the actors are too.
Great casting as well, like finding the right people to play those characters as well. Yeah. Well, finally, what can viewers expect from the finale that we get to see in cinemas? I mean, obviously you can't share but what can we expect emotionally? What are you looking forward to?
Everything. The stakes are getting so much higher. There's so many new people and more people in different cultures kind of coming into the picture. And Things are getting a little dangerous, a little like overwhelming. The personal dynamics or the stakes are getting higher too. Simon and Eden's marriage is, we are not quite sure how that's going to resolve itself. And there's this sort of, I think maybe, I don't want to say doubt, but like maybe anxiety about being a part of this mission and part of this group for Simon. And Matthew's faith takes a turn in episode 7, and that's very unexpected. And then, there's all these people that are coming, and it's going to be very epic from what I hear. I haven't seen any of the scenes, but like, it's going to be incredible to watch on a big screen. And of course I can't give anything away, but I think that I think like months from now, once it's out and people can see it on the app, like after seeing that, if they didn't get a chance to see it in the theaters,
wish they had
wanted to. So that's all I can go off of is it'll be worth it.
The Chosen, the finale of season 3 is out in cinemas here in Australia on February 3rd and 4th. Locations and more information can be found at thechosentv.com.au. Thank you so much for your time, Liz. Lovely to meet you, and all the best as you continue to work on the series.
Thank you so much.